So what can we learn from all of this then, and from your background then? Does that mean that Medvedev is just making a statement there that he wasn't really serious at the G8 meeting when he brought this to everyone's attention, gave everyone one of these gold coins?
Well, I think he's trying to enunciate that you have to have a gold-backed currency. Not an Amero, not a one-world currency. They want a trade currency with a gold backing. That's what they're looking for.
Okay, we got a 4-minute break. We'll be back. It's 19 minutes after the hour. Bob Chapman is our guest. Bob at intforecaster.com. You know, with respect to the United States right now, already the Gulf shrimp prices have gone up 50% in just dealing with Gulf shrimp. However, what I thought was interesting to learn is that 80% of our seafood comes from imports. 80%. We don't even deal in our own seafood here in the United States. That, to me, I found was startling. And now the new information that perhaps we're going to have $7 a gallon gasoline. What do you think we're looking at in the near future as far as prices, income, jobs? I mean, the only jobs that are being added, of course, are census jobs or government jobs. How convenient. But there's no private sector jobs. What's going to happen here in the near future?
Well, first of all, they have to have another stimulus program, probably $500 billion or more, plus the help of the Federal Reserve creating money in order to go sideways or slightly higher during the next year and a half. If that is not quickly forthcoming, we will head into a great dark deflationary depression, and that will come about very quickly.
So you're for the stimulus? You're for this new stimulus?
No, I'm not for it. I'm just saying what they must do if they want to keep the game going.
Okay.
Now, if they decided that this is the place where they want to pull the plug, because they created the whole system, the whole situation in the first place. This didn't happen by chance. It's being done deliberately. And later on, 4, 5, 6 years from now, when we bring these people to trial on television, everybody will see what they did. The Goldman Sachs and Morgan and Deutsche Bank and Citigroup and the people in government, the transnational conglomerates. I mean, you can't have increases in employment when small companies either can't get any loans at all, or if they can, it's a smidgen of what they want. Now, the banks have the money. AAA corporations are doing great, and they get all the money they want, but not the little guys. And they create, it's debatable, 60 to 80%, so we'll say 70% of all new jobs. So they're not getting any money. They can't expand, so they can't create any jobs. You don't have to be a genius to figure that out. Mm-hmm. Our government lies about everything. If you take the U6 and you deduct the birth-death ratio, you get 22 3/8% real unemployment.
Okay, what is the U6?
That is U 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which makes 6. And the one you see all the time is U3. And U3 is the one they tell you is 9 7/8% or whatever it is this month. And they don't put on all of the people who are involuntarily working part-time, working about 34 hours a week, or the people who are permanently discouraged, or the people who aren't getting checks anymore. That's what the birth-death ratio is.
Well, and not to mention all the people in the Gulf who are not getting paid right now, have no money. And, you know, just to remind everybody, in the Exxon Valdez, they got paid an average of $15,000 per person for all the damages that they sustained, which is nothing. And now we've got CNN and Larry King that are going to have a telethon tonight. Ryan Seacrest is going to hold an online thing, and they're going to have all these celebrities there. It's going to be disaster in the Gulf, how you can help. And this is now all on the people to go and clean up this mess that either has been done by design or allowed to happen by design. And they're going to go to the people and break their backs a little bit more to make them pay for this disaster, just like in Haiti, and who knows where that money is in Haiti.
Well, it's in the pockets of the Bushes and the Clintons. And we also might congratulate Larry King. I think he's making up for the fact that he's a convicted felon.
He is?
Yeah, he got caught shoplifting in '68.
That's a felony to shoplift?
I don't know. All I know is he did it, and he was apprehended for it.
Huh. Well, wow, 1968. Well, interesting.
I have a long memory, and when you're old, there's a lot of things you've seen.
Well, I think he's got a lot more problems right now in his domestic situation than people
but
probably know.
These people are all compromised, Joyce. Believe me, they do what they're told to do, or they don't keep their jobs.
That's right. That's right.
And that's why they go ballistic when they compare your program when we're on here with Rush and the rest of them when we beat them.
Hey, we've got a 3-minute break. We'll be right back, 29 minutes after the hour, back with Bob Chapman. Bob Chapman is our guest today, and in his latest newsletter, he says, Freemasonry. It is not strange how the Vatican Dome and imported Egyptian obelisk in St. Peter's Square and the Capitol Dome and Washington Monument are laid out in the same fashion. He goes into other things along that line. Then he says, this is what your shadow government has in store for you in the future. Then he says, let's discuss the choice of venue for our latest false flag operation, the BP disaster, which is what we're going to discuss right now. But see, his newsletter is not just on the financial markets itself. It's on all kinds of things, and you will learn so much from the International Forecaster. Go to intforecaster.com or email Bob at intforecaster.com. All right, let's go to what you called a false flag operation with BP, Bob.
Well, I got to get people look at it the other way, like I explained earlier with the Korean and the situation in Times Square. And so what did they do? The tip-off to me was very simple. 3 weeks prior to the event, the blow-up, the drilling into an oil volcano or whatever they did, the people at GS get rid of their stock, and so didn't the CEO of BP, about 1/3 and about almost 1/2 of their outstanding positions. And then there were sellers after the event, too. At least GS was. And
isn't there some way we can call attention to this and say, hey, Securities and Exchange Commission, check this one out?
Well, unfortunately, the SEC's in on it.
Oh,
they do what they're told. They only chase people who are not connected, with the Illuminists. And, anybody they ever send to jail or they get fined or whatever they do with them, all of those people are not people, quote, in the inner circle. And so you have them looking the other way all the time. They're not going to do anything about anything. Look at the Justice Department. They have a criminal investigation going on against J.P. Morgan Chase. And the CFTC, Commodity Futures Trading Corporation, has one in civil against Morgan as well. Now, do you really think that they're going to go anywhere? Of course they're not. I mean, Morgan is the largest shareholder in the Fed. They're going to do what they want to do. These people are all bought and paid for. If they open their mouths up, they get them shut. They either lose their jobs or they commit suicide, by shooting themselves twice in the head. I mean, this is the sort of thing that we're dealing with. This is hardball. And, that's why I attack them all the time. And because the SEC's not going to do their job. I mean, I put up with harassment with those people from 1967 onward, and they still harass me today if they can get away with it.
Yeah.
And so the answer is the system is not working. That's why you got to throw them all out of office in November. And that means that all these criminals will have to go back in and pay off all these new people that are in there if, in fact, they're pliable. And many of them probably will not be. And, of course, then they'll have to threaten to kill them. Or, their kids will get kidnapped or whatever.
Oh, this is so scary. So scary.
I mean, why do you think I live outside the country?
Yeah, a lot of people.
I tell them, come and find me, but you ain't going home.
Oh, man. Let me open up the phone line. So if you have a question or comment for Bob Chapman, 800-259-9231, 92.31. Stock market is up 117 points. Gold is up. Looks like it's going to be heading for probably another high in gold. And do you continue to see it going up, or do you think it's going to take a downturn?
No, it's going higher. The volition is there. People are fleeing for currencies, and with good reason. And they're going to continue to do so. And they should. They should be doing that. And so, it's happening all over the world. I mean, I'm doing programs in Frankfurt and Athens and all kinds of stuff. People are catching on.